What's up, people? Welcome back to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Hope everyone is doing well on this Tuesday evening. Just had an absolute nightmare with the internet. I have absolutely no idea what went on then. Literally, I turned my computer off. I was downstairs and I came upstairs and the video was still streaming. I mean, anyway, let's move on. We've got a massive show for you guys this evening, so do make sure to smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's jump on into it. Everything seems to be working and normal again now, so this is really, really positive. Let's get on into the show. Do let me know in the comment section, guys, if everything looks all right and everything's working, because honestly, I just had a mad 5 minutes there where... So frustrating, isn't it? But anyway, we move on. Let's try and stay positive. The internet seems to be working. I'm praying that it stays working. All right, let's jump straight on into the show. We've got so much to get into on today's show this evening, guys. We're going to be talking about Rasmus Hojlund. We've got some more information coming out from Fabrizio Romano on the Rasmus Hojlund deal. We will also be talking to you about Amrabat, which we've again got more information about since we spoke earlier. We're going to be talking about Palestri. We're going to be talking about Suzuki, McTominay. So much to get into, guys. So do make sure to smash a like on the video and do subscribe to the channel, and let's jump straight on into the show. So let's start off with the topic that everybody wants to talk about. Let's talk about Rasmus Hojlund. People are probably wondering what the video title is about. They're probably thinking, what is this 5-year contract? What's going on here, Kieran? Because I've seen a few people in the chat already asking me this exact question. So let's address the elephant in the room. Let's get straight on into this one. Now, Fabrizio Romano has come out earlier on today reporting the following. Manchester United have agreed personal terms with Rasmus Hojlund and his camp on a 5-year deal, which would keep the player at Manchester United until 2028. Fabrizio says he's told that the contract will include an option for a further year, and he says that Manchester United will bid this week for the right fee. So for anybody who just missed that, Fabrizio Romano is reporting that Manchester United have agreed a contract with Rasmus Hojlund and his agents on personal terms. And the deal is clear. It's a 5-year deal with the option of an extra year. So he's going to sign a 5-year deal and there'll be an option of an extra year. How does everybody feel about that? I think that's really, really positive. I do. As I've said to you guys before, the wages are believed to be somewhere around £80,000 per week, which I think is completely fine in the grand scheme of things. I think 80 grand a week for Rasmus Hojlund is very, very fair. And yeah, I'm really, really happy about this one because a lot of people were starting to get a little bit worried about this deal. But the fact that Fabrizio has just come out with this tweet ultimately saying that personal terms have been agreed, the bid is going in, ultimately calm down, don't worry about it. Yeah, that's pretty much what Fabrizio has said today. So I do think any minute now, it could be tonight, it could be tomorrow, we will get the here we go for Rasmus Hojlund. He does go on to say, though, which I think is quite interesting, that apparently Manchester United will not be entertaining the 90 to 100 million pounds games that apparently Atalanta are starting for. So yeah, I know there's people like Laurie Whitwell in The Athletic coming out saying that apparently Atalanta wants, 100 million euros for Rasmus Hojlund. Fabrizio is completely disregarding that, saying that Manchester United will not even entertain these types of fees. The deal is clear on Manchester United's side. They want to pay 50 million plus around 10 million in add-ons. That's the absolute max. I don't think we'll pay over 60 million for Rasmus Hojlund. And if we do, I think that's an absolute disgrace, to be completely honest with you. 60 million for Rasmus, I'll take it at this stage. Anything more than 60, I think, is definitely over the top. But yeah, let me know how you're thinking about this one. Fabrizio, as I said, is reporting that Manchester United have agreed a 5-year deal with Rasmus Hojlund with the option of an extra year. So the only thing that's kind of keeping the Rasmus from joining is just Manchester United agreeing a price with Atalanta. But as Fabrizio says, the bid will be going in this week. So very, very positive. When does everybody think? Let me know in the comments section. When do you think the bid will go in for Rasmus Hojlund? My prediction is tomorrow. I think the bid will go in tomorrow, and I think we'll get the here we go on Thursday. But let me know in the comments section what you guys think. And everybody who's watching, thank you so much for bearing with me whilst the internet was being badly behaved. If you can smash a like on the video and subscribe, that would be a massive, massive help. It's so frustrating. We had like 200 likes on the video and then my internet decided to die. So yeah, very, very frustrating. Yeah, please do go and like the video if you haven't already, just because honestly, that was the most frustrating 5 minutes I've had today, honestly. But anyway, we move on. Let's keep up the positivity, guys. We've got so much to get into. Yeah, really, really positive about all of these bits of news that are coming out. And again, massive shouts to every single one of you who ultimately were willing to wait and put up with it and are still joining us now. I really do appreciate you guys. So thank you very much for that. It really kept me at ease knowing that all of you guys are in the comments saying, take your time, don't worry. Like, I really do appreciate that. So thank you very much. Right, let's carry on with the Rasmus Hojlund story then. So, as I just said, Fabrizio said 5-year deal. Happy with that. And Fabrizio has also gone on to say, guys, that Atalanta value Rasmus Hojlund around 70 million. Manchester United will entertain negotiations around 55 to 65 million. He expects a bid going in soon. So, how does everybody feel about that? Apparently, Atalanta wants 70 million, and Manchester United are willing to pay 55 to 65. I mean, to be completely honest with you, if we pay 70 million for him, I reckon that's really not very good, is it? You know, I like to be positive on here, but I'm not going to be deluded. I am going to give my opinion. And I think if we pay the 70 million that they're asking for, I think that's an absolute disgrace, to be completely honest. I really, really do. But the line that's coming out from all of the UK journalists today, guys, is that Manchester United were not willing to pay a penny more than 60 million, which I actually think is fine. 60 million, we get the deal done and we move on to the next target. Anything more than 60, I'll definitely be a bit concerned. But at the end of the day, if they want 70, Manchester United aren't going to pay what they want, are they? We'll probably offer 50. They might say no, and then we'll offer 55. So I do think there's kind of a bit of a middle ground. Yeah, I do think it's good news as well. I really, really do. The fact that Fabrizio has come out today saying that ultimately the contract's been agreed between Manchester United and Atalanta. It's a 5-year deal with the option of an extra year. As we all know, Fabrizio doesn't put out half-arsed stories, does he? Pardon my French. He only puts out stuff that he's 100% about, and he's getting this news. He's confirming it, that the deal has been agreed between Atalanta and Manchester United. They just need to agree the fee with... the deal has been agreed between Manchester United and Rasmus Hojlund, and they just need to agree the fee with Atalanta. I need to be very careful about my wording of how I say this, guys, because I don't want to say it in the wrong way and kind of confuse people. But to be very clear... Manchester United, Rasmus Hojlund, it's very much on. It's very, very hot. I would say we're probably in the 80 to 90% club here now, guys. I would say we're probably 85 to 90% sure we're going to get this player. The only issue I see here, potentially, is if Atalanta want ridiculous money, but I just don't see that happening at this point. Anybody who missed the show this morning, Atalanta have already signed a replacement. They've got the here we go for this new player called... his name's El Bilal Torre. He's from Almeria in La Liga. So ultimately, Atalanta already have their replacement. Fabrizio Romano's done the here we go for that one. So yeah, I don't really see any way that this deal can fall through at this stage unless someone like PSG comes knocking, but I just don't see that, to be honest. I think it's all but done. I really, really do. And to be completely honest with you guys, I just want this deal to get over the line now. I really, really do. I don't really want to talk about Rasmus Hojlund anymore. Like, the amount of times I've seen his face from making these thumbnails, honestly... I've seen so many pictures of the guy. I've barely even seen him play football, but I've seen probably every single picture of Rasmus Hojlund on the internet. I mean, picture that. Literally every picture of Rasmus Hojlund I've probably seen on the internet. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, let me know in the comment section, guys, when do you think we'll get the here we go for Rasmus? I'm saying it will either be Wednesday, tomorrow, or Thursday. That's my prediction. But do let me know. Simon says, I'm more excited about Amrabat. We will be talking about Amrabat in a minute, guys. So yeah, hold on for that bit of the show. We have got quite a lot to get into on the Amrabat situation. At the end of the day, let's just, before we wrap up that bit of the show on Rasmus Hojlund, let's just touch on this, okay? We did a poll earlier on the show. Sorry, it wasn't on the show. It was on the community tab. So if you aren't subscribing, go and subscribe, and then you can get involved with our polls. We do polls every single day. We ask you guys all different types of questions for you guys to get involved in the community. And we asked the question earlier. The question was, who do you want to be the next Manchester United striker? Okay, we got over 1,000 votes on the poll, and 70% of you wanted Rasmus Hojlund. I mean, that's incredible, isn't it? So on our poll earlier on today, 70% of you wanted Rasmus Hojlund. And just to give you a bit of context, the other options that were in this poll were Gonzalo Ramos, Kolo Muani, and Harry Kane. So 70% of you chose Rasmus Hojlund over any of those other players. So that's the massive positive. It really, really is that so many people in this community really want to see Rasmus Hojlund at Manchester United, because I absolutely love the guy. I think he's going to be quality, and I cannot wait to see him in a Manchester United shirt. So yeah, do smash a like on the video, guys, if you haven't already. We've got over 400 people watching already. That's absolutely incredible, considering all of the technical difficulties we have, or all the technical difficulties we have had. Everything seems to be working fine now, so that's really, really positive. Do make sure to subscribe as well. And let's move on to the next story. So this is the one I wanted to bring to you guys. Really, really positive, actually. You're going to really like this story. This is about Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay. So Sky Sports, in the last kind of 10 minutes or so, are reporting the following. West Ham have held talks with Manchester United over the signings of Maguire and Scott McTominay. I mean, if anybody wants to rub their ears just to check what they're hearing, Sky Sports, in the last 10 minutes, are reporting that Manchester United are holding talks with West Ham over Maguire and McTominay. They go on to say there is a gap in valuations for both players. United see them as very important members of the squad. It would require a very big bids for United to consider a sale. So that's the news we were all hoping for. West Ham have come knocking. They have firmed their offers up, and they do want to bring Maguire and Scott McTominay to the club. Very, very happy about that. It's just about getting the deal right here. Let me ask you this, actually. If I was to say to you that we could sell Scott McTominay to West Ham for 40 million and they take Harry Maguire on loan, how would you guys feel about that? For me, I would probably do that. I would. If they were willing to spend around 40 million for Scott McTominay, I would let them have Maguire on loan. I would, for one season, as long as they pay most of his wages. You've got to remember, right? West Ham just had an offer rejected for Conor Gallagher for £40 million, okay? I know some people in the chat earlier were saying Conor Gallagher's better. Like, what are you talking about? I don't think there's much levels between Conor Gallagher and Scott McTominay, to be completely honest with you. So if they're willing to offer 40 million for him, then we should be at least getting 30 to 40 million for Scott McTominay. But yeah, that's a really, really positive story that's come out, as I said, from Sky Sports, and literally in the last 10 minutes, saying that West Ham and Manchester United are currently in talks over the signings of Maguire and McTominay. Just imagine the day where both of them go. Yeah, that would be so good, wouldn't it? So positive. Of course, I will keep you guys updated as and when we get more news on the Maguire and McTominay situation. But as it stands at the moment, it's just talks, okay? Nothing is advanced. It is just talks. So yeah, we will have to obviously keep you updated on that one. But at the moment, there isn't really much else to say other than there are conversations going on. Right, let's move on to Pellistri. Now, I want you guys to let me know in the comment section, what do you think about Pellistri? Do you think Pellistri could go on to be a first-team player for Manchester United? Do you think he's good enough? Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about Pellistri. So there's a story coming out today via Manchester Evening News reporting that apparently the Dutch club FC Twente have apparently identified Pellistri as a top target this summer and are looking to bring him on loan. So as it stands, guys, Pellistri is on the brink of signing a new contract at Manchester United, and then he will be loaned out. And as I said, it looks like FC Twente in the Eredivisie are the club who are leading the race. Now, what does everybody think about that? For me, I personally don't want to see Pellistri go out to the Eredivisie. I don't think it's high enough quality, if I'm completely honest. I much would rather see him stay in the Premier League. I would be really, really disappointed if we loan out Pellistri, to be completely honest. It doesn't make any sense to me. If he goes to like a Luton or someone in the Premier League or even like a Nottingham Forest, then 100% go and get that deal done. But loaning him to a mid-table club in the Eredivisie, I just think that's a complete waste of time, to be completely honest. I personally wouldn't do that deal, and I really, really hope it doesn't happen, because I think Pellistri could get a better loan move than the Eredivisie, personally. There's quite a lot of people in the chat saying you should sell him. Fair enough. Obviously, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I do really like Pellistri, though. I do. I think he's a good player, but I do think he needs game time. Otherwise, he's just going to turn into another Elanga, one of these types of players who has loads and loads of potential and then just never gets any game time, which ultimately just is good for nobody. So I'm not sure about this story of Pellistri going to FC Twente. I personally would not do that deal. I would see if we could get him a loan move to the Prem or even to the Championship. I think that would be way more beneficial for his development than sending him out to the Eredivisie and him playing, for a mid-table club in the Eredivisie. That makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. But do let me know in the comment section, guys, where do you think would be the best place for Pellistri to go? Do you think it would be a Premier League move? Do you think he should go to the Championship? I look forward to seeing you guys' comments, so do get involved. Do let me know. We've got 600 people watching today, guys. Absolutely incredible. Please do smash a like on the video really, really quickly if you haven't already. And please do subscribe to the channel. We are about 30 subscribers away from 6,400. So let's see if we can hit that by the end of today's stream. We're about 30 away. So yeah, at the end of the day, just to finalise on the Pellistri story, I do think that if we didn't have so many wingers, I think he'd get game time. I really, really do, But we've got Ahmad, we've got Garnacho, Rashford, Sancho. We've got so many wingers that Pellistri's just not going to play. He's a good player. He has a lot of potential. I think he could go on to be maybe a Manchester United starting player in maybe 2 or 3 years. But at this point at the moment, definitely not up to standard to be playing in the Premier League for Manchester United. Somebody in the chat saying we should loan him to Middlesbrough. I mean, that would be a good move for him. It really, really would. I think for me, Pellistri, it has to be either Premier League or Championship. I don't think loaning him to the Liga really makes any sense unless it's to a really, really top Liga club. I don't think Serie A makes any sense because, again, it's very different to the Premier League. He needs to play in a physical league like the Premier League or the Championship. That's what I would do. Yeah, that's what I would do personally, guys. But as always, I do look forward to seeing you guys' comments. So do let me know in the comment section, where do you think would be the best place for Pellistri to go? At the end of the day, the bare minimum is that he needs game time. Him sat on the bench is just a complete waste of time. So let's hope he does get that move. It was already reported that, you know, Manchester United and Erik ten Hag were kind of working out where to send him. And the plan is for him to go out on loan. It's just more of a case of which club will he go to? Which league will it be in? That's the most important thing here. And for me, it has to be the Premier League or the Championship. Any other league, I just don't think is going to help with his development. But do let me know what you guys think. So we've got someone putting in a comment here. Ginge says, unpopular opinion, but Pellistri and Amad are both not good enough. We wasted nearly 50 million on them, both as panic signings. Wow. What does everybody think about that? So Ginge in the chat thinks that both Pellistri and Amad are both not good enough and we wasted nearly 50 million on them. I agree with you if we don't develop them properly. I think if they carry on the trajectory they're on at the moment, where they just sit on the bench, then yeah, it's a waste of 50 million. But if we manage it correctly, if, you know, Amad goes out to a Championship team on club, if, what's he called? Pellistri goes out to a Championship team on club, on loan, I think that's good. I think they'll develop into good players and I think they'll be worth the money we paid for them. If they sit on the bench, not getting any game time, and then in 2 or 3 years they leave as a free agent, obviously that's a waste, isn't it? But it completely depends on how we kind of manage their development and their career. You know, it's all up to us. The ball is in Erik ten Hag's court. I do agree, though, at the moment, Amad and Pellistri are not good enough to start in the Premier League for Manchester United. 100% agree with you. But I do think that we can turn them into that player. I think they do have the potential. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, I know Uruguay isn't the most, you know, biggest nation by way of football, but Pellistri is an international footballer for Uruguay. You know, he gets in that team. Amad, I think Ahmad's ahead of Pellistri at the moment, to be completely honest with you. I think he's ahead in the pecking order. But yeah, that's my take on it. But obviously, let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. Do you think they're good enough? Would you even sell them? That is an option. We could sell both of them. But it does look like Pellistri is going to get a new contract. The plan seems to be a new contract for Pellistri and then a loan out to another club. So yeah, I think that is the correct decision. But do let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Now, let's move on to the next story. So we've got another outgoing at the club, guys. More players are leaving. Really, really positive. Now, this isn't one of the most exciting names in the list, to be completely honest, but it does look like Nathan Bishop, who is currently the third choice goalkeeper, is about to leave Manchester United and move to Sunderland on a permanent deal. So at the moment, guys, it looks like Tom Heaton's going to go, Dean Henderson, De Gea, and Nathan Bishop. We're literally getting rid of every single goalkeeper at Manchester United. I don't really get what's going on, to be completely honest with you. Like, we've signed one goalkeeper and we're literally letting every single goalkeeper we have go. Obviously, I'm sure Ten Hag has a plan. I have absolutely no doubt that Ten Hag knows what he's doing, but it is a bit strange, isn't it? Yeah. So it does look like Nathan Bishop will be leaving Manchester United and he will be joining Sunderland. As I said, I don't think he's ever going to play for Manchester United, so it doesn't really matter. Hopefully we get a bit of money for him. He's only 23 years of age. The fee hasn't been revealed yet at the moment. It just says Sunderland have agreed a deal for Nathan Bishop. The youngster's move from Manchester United will be completed once Erik ten Hag's side have completed their tour of the United States. So he's currently on tour. He's currently on tour with the rest of the squad in America. As soon as he comes back, it looks like he will move to Sunderland, which, yeah, I mean, it's not the most exciting bit of news, but ultimately, if they're not going to be good enough to play for Manchester United, then we 100% are better letting them go now, getting a bit of money, clearing their wages, and reinvesting that money in other areas of the squad. So that's my take on it. Yeah, but let's move on to the next topic. To be honest with you guys, I don't really watch the under-21s that much, so I don't really know how good this Nathan Bishop is. But at the end of the day, if we're willing to let him go, my guess is he's probably not that great. So yeah, wish him all the best. I hope he goes and has a good career. Obviously, Sunderland in the Championship. It's not a bad move, is it, to be completely honest with you? So let's wish him all the best. Let's hope Nathan Bishop goes on and does well. We are going to talk about Zion Suzuki in a minute as well. We have got some bad news about Zion Suzuki, which we will bring to you. But quickly, we have got 700 people watching. Absolutely incredible. Please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. And now we will talk about Zion Suzuki. So it's bad news about Suzuki, guys. Yeah, unfortunately, apparently Suzuki has turned down a move to Manchester United. That's what's being reported. Apparently, he wants to maximize his game time ultimately. The Olympics are taking place this summer, and he is the Japanese goalkeeper, right? And it says Suzuki has rejected the chance to join Manchester United because he would not secure regular game time. And ultimately, he wants to play in the Olympics. So it looks like he will be staying at the Urawa Reds, which, I mean, that's a very brave move, isn't it? To reject Manchester United to stay in the Japanese league. But if that's what he wants to do, then hats off to him. Maybe at the end of the day, we're linked to another goalkeeper, guys, to say really, really quickly. We're linked to a Fenerbahce goalkeeper called Altay Bayindir. Again, I've never heard of him, but obviously we trust Erik ten Hag, and let's hope that he knows what he's doing. Because me personally, I would bring in I would just keep Matej Kovar. I would keep Matej Kovar as the backup goalkeeper. I wouldn't bother with Zion Suzuki. I'd have Onana as the number 1, Matej Kovar as the number 2, and then maybe have Tom Heaton as the number 3, just for experience. Those would be my preferred 3 options as the goalkeeper. I wouldn't bother with this Zion Suzuki guy, especially if it's taken us this long to get to this point. He clearly doesn't want to move to Manchester United, otherwise he would be a Manchester United player now. So it does look like he will not join the club. It looks like he will stay at Urawa Reds, mainly due to the reason that he's worried about his game time, and he's got the Olympics coming up. So fair enough, it does make sense, I do get it. What's the point in coming to Manchester United and probably never playing at all, losing your place in the international team, not going to the Olympics with your home country, and then in 2 years probably being let go by Manchester United anyway? Let's be completely honest here. So I know that sounds a bit negative, but that's probably the reality of it. He comes, and after a couple of years, we probably never hear his name ever again. That's probably the reality of what happens. So fair play to him. He's made his decision. It doesn't look like he will be coming. Obviously, I respect his decision. It does make sense. It's a bit of a shame because I know quite a few people were quite excited about him. But for me personally, I would 100% keep Matej Kovar as the backup goalkeeper. He looks absolutely quality. I really, really like him. He had a great game against Arsenal. He looks really, really good with his feet. So yeah, I would go with Matej Kovar. I would keep him as the goalkeeper. I wouldn't bother with Zion Suzuki anyway. So I'm actually quite happy about this because the thing you've got to remember here is Zion Suzuki was going to cost us 5 million. So if we did keep Matej Kovar, that's an extra 5 million in the bank, guys. So I do think that's positive. But do let me know what you guys think. Obviously, I would have liked to see this Zion Suzuki guy. He looked quite exciting. He had similar attributes to Onana. He was good with his feet, good at distribution, and there was quite a lot of hype around him. But he seems to have made his decision, and we have to respect that. So let's move on. Now, there's something I want to throw into the show. Now, this one's a little bit of a fun one, and it's more of a kind of, I want to ask you guys for your opinion, and I want to kind of get to the bottom of this together because ultimately I don't know the answer to this question. So this is one for the community to decide together. Now, if anybody missed it, there was a picture that went up on Twitter earlier on today. It was on Eric Bailly's Instagram. It's a picture of Eric Bailly stood outside Carrington, and he's got like what looks like a suitcase, okay? And then in the caption, it says done with a tick. So he's outside Carrington, Eric Bailly, holding his little suitcase, or little bag, like a gym bag type thing, and it says done and a tick. Now, do you think that is Eric Bailly saying goodbye to Manchester United? Let me know in the comment section. What do you think about this? I can't put pictures in the chat. I'll see if I can get it up on the screen. Let me see if I can get it up on the screen really, really quickly. I'm going to get it up on the screen for you guys. But yeah, let me know in the comment section. What do you think about this? If you haven't seen it already, then I personally think that this is him saying goodbye. I do, but this is just my opinion. This isn't, this is just speculation. I'm just going to stick it up on the screen really, really quickly. Oh, it's absolutely massisis. That's what she said. Sorry. I can't get Michael Scott, honestly. If anybody watches The Office, they know. All right, I've just stuck that up on the screen really, really quickly. He's just put up this picture on Instagram saying, done with a tick. He stood outside Carrington with a little kind of, it looks like a little bag or like a suitcase type thing. It looks like he will be leaving, guys. It does. As we said before, he's got multiple offers from Saudi Arabia, Eric Bailly. He's even had calls from Ronaldo, reportedly, who is trying to bring him to the club. Hopefully Eric Bailly goes. I wish him all the best as well. I have no bad blood against any of these players. He gave his all for Manchester United every single time he played. He literally, honestly, he was an absolute warrior on the pitch, Eric Bailly. But simply, he got injured too much and he probably wasn't good enough. But yeah, I've just put that picture up on the screen for anybody who hasn't seen it. I will get rid of it now because it looks absolutely horrible. But there it goes. It goes. So yeah, I do think that is a goodbye message from Eric. Obviously, we don't have confirmation on where he is going, but he did put that up on his Instagram earlier on today. And it does look like he will be leaving the club this summer. To where, we don't know exactly yet. As we spoke about on the other day, it does look like Saudi Arabian clubs are circling for his signature. And even one report went to say that apparently Cristiano Ronaldo went as far as ringing Eric Bailly to talk him about how the league was, to tell him what to expect. Very, very strange. But anyway, let's hope he gets the move. The picture's gone. Sorry, I've taken the picture off because I don't want it to stay on the screen the whole time. But yeah, it looks like Eric Bailly will be leaving. There's one thing I want to touch on really, really quickly. There's a few training videos that have come out today, okay? Manchester United training videos, and it's Jadon Sancho in training. And Jadon Sancho in training is literally training to be a striker. It's absolutely mad, okay? All of the videos of Jadon today, he's training as a striker. He's just practicing finishing. That's all he's doing. And if anybody's unaware, apparently Erik ten Hag is going to play Jadon Sancho as a false nine next season. Absolutely mental, isn't it? Jadon will be a false nine next season. Erik ten Hag has said the following on this story about Jadon being a false nine. He says, I think Jadon is best in the central position. So it looks like next season, guys, Jadon Sancho will be played as a false nine. He's not going to be played as a winger. Very, very interested on that one. Very, very interested to see what happens. Yeah. I honestly, I back Jadon Sancho. I want him to do well. I want him to succeed. I really do like him. But yeah, let me know in the comment section, guys. What do you think about this story about Jadon Sancho being a number 9 next season? Do you like the idea? Do you think it's not going to work? Me personally, I think it could work. I really, really do. So let's hope that Jadon does well. Let's hope that he kind of gets some game time in that number 9 position. Let's hope he gets some goals, because I want nothing more than Jadon Sancho to succeed at Manchester United. I really, really do. Somebody says I look like Amrabat. Honestly, the amount of comments I get saying I either look like Amrabat or Erik ten Hag is absolutely mental. Honestly, if every person who called me Amrabat or Erik ten Hag had liked this video, we'd have over like 10,000 likes already. Like, it's absolutely mental. Very, very strange, but I don't mind. I'll take it. We've got over 850 people watching today, guys. Absolutely incredible. I think that is a record for the channel. So massive shouts to everybody who is regular on here. Please do smash a like on the video, guys. And please do subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Everyone is welcome. Right, I will read out some of your comments in a little bit as well, guys. So do get your comments in, and I will circle back to them in a bit. But yeah, we have just hit our record for the most viewers on a stream. So sometimes life happens like that, doesn't it? We have all of these issues with the internet. I was literally thinking, I can't be bothered to go live now. I was so annoyed. And then we come live and we've got all of these amazing people in the chat, and we've got nearly 900 people watching today, guys. So massive shouts to every single one of you. Massive shouts to this community. I really do love all you guys. So yeah, big ups to everybody. Anyway, let's move on with the show, because we're not here to be to get all emotional, are we? But I do think it's important to show my appreciation to you guys, because I do really appreciate you, and I love speaking to you every single night. So let's talk about the next topic. Let's talk about Mohamed Kudus. We did speak about this player earlier on today, but there is another story coming out today about Mohamed Kudus, and it's saying the following. As always, guys, do let me know in the comment section what you think about Mohamed Kudus, and I will jump into this story right now. So the story goes as follows. Manchester United have identified Mohamed Kudus as a potential alternative to Rasmus Hojlund. That goes on to say that ultimately, if they can't get the Hojlund deal over the line, they are going to look at either Kolo Muani or Mohamed Kudus. Interesting. That's all I can say. I'm not too sure about this Mohamed Kudus signing, if I'm completely honest. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's exactly what we need right now. I think that Sancho could do just as good a job in that kind of position as Mohamed Kudus, if I'm completely honest. Like, I think he's a good player, but I don't really see why we're linked to him. And if I'm being completely straight with you guys, I think this is just an attempt from Manchester United to try and speed up the Hojlund deal. That's all I think this is, you know. People coming out today saying that if we don't get Rasmus Hojlund, we'll go for Kolo Muani. If we don't get Rasmus Hojlund, we'll go for Kudus. All of this is just spin from Manchester United to try and make Atalanta sweat. All they're trying to do, guys, is make Manchester United sweat. They're trying to put them under pressure, because ultimately Atalanta want to drive up the price for Rasmus Hojlund. They want these ridiculous figures. Manchester United aren't willing to pay it. So Manchester United leak out these stories saying that if we don't get Rasmus Hojlund, we'll go for Kolo Muani. If we don't get Rasmus Hojlund, we'll go for Kudus. You know, they're ultimately just putting these stories out to the UK press, being clever, so that Atalanta see these stories and think, okay, well, if we do want to sell this player, we better not mess around with Manchester United, because we know that they're speaking to Kolo Muani. We know that they're speaking to Mohamed Kudus. So I do just think this is a tactic. I do. I know that everybody wants Rasmus Hojlund in this chat. I know that loads and loads of you guys are really, really excited about him, but I do feel quite positive at the moment in the sense that if if Rasmus Hojlund doesn't happen, then we can just go and get Kolo Muani. We can. If Rasmus Hojlund doesn't happen, we could go and get Gonzalo Ramos. There are so many other options available in the market that if Atalanta are going to try and mess us around, we can just move on to a different target. So I do think it's important that these stories are being put out in the UK media, even if we think they're rubbish, even if we think there's no chance Manchester United are actually interested in in Kolo Muani. I think it's good, and I think it's clever negotiation from Manchester United. I really, really do. I mean, another person in the chat saying I look like Amrabat. Guys, maybe I am Amrabat. Smash a like on the video if I look like Amrabat. Every person who's watching the stream right now, if you think I look like Amrabat, smash a like on the video. Okay, let's see how many people think I look like Amrabat. I mean, I'll take it. Amrabat looks tough, so I'm not going for the tough look, to be completely honest with you. I think it quite suit me. But yeah, if you think I look like Amrabat, please smash a like on the video, and let's see how many of you actually think I look like Amrabat, because I imagine it's probably quite a lot of you. Because I've literally been told that 5 times today by 5 different people. So yeah, I have no issue with it whatsoever. I think it's a bit funny. And you know what, guys, just to add a bit of humor to the show, just to kind of keep things light, there he is. I mean, obviously, this is a very quick... What are we saying? There he is, guys. There he is, Amrabat, on the screen. If you think I look like Amrabat, smash a like on the video. All right, Amrabat's going now. Bye-bye, Amrabat. Anyway, let's move on to the next story. We are going to talk about Amrabat. That's a great bridge into the Amrabat part of the show, isn't it? So thank you to whoever called me Amrabat in the chat. Yeah. Thank you to whoever called me Amrabat in the chat, because you've really, really helped me bridge into the next part of the show. Yeah, I either get called Amrabat or Erik ten Hag, either of which I'll take. Although somebody the other day said I look like Orlando Bloom without any hair, which I thought was a bit of a compliment, to be completely honest with you. To be called Orlando Bloom without any hair, I'll take that as well any day of the week. So anyway, let's move on, guys. We're not going to talk about my hair anymore. Let's talk about Amrabat. Let's talk about Amrabat. Okay, so there's a story coming out in the last couple of minutes from Corriere Fiorentino, which is a Florentina newspaper, saying that according to a report from Corriere Fiorentina, Sofian Amrabat cannot wait to leave the Italian club amid reports linking him with a move to Manchester United. So that's the first bit of news. And then this is the bit that you guys really, really will like. This is coming out from Gazzetta, which is one of the biggest newspapers in Italy. They're reporting that Sofian Amrabat will not be on Fiorentina's pre-season tour as a move to Manchester United gets closer. How does everybody feel about that one? Some of the people in the chat. How does everyone feel about that one? As I just said, Sofian Amrabat has not gone on the tour with Fiorentina. He is still in Florence ahead of a move. Really, really excited about this one. As somebody said in the chat, I am actually maybe a little bit more excited about Amrabat than I am about Rasmus, to be completely honest with you, because the key thing here is, guys, our midfield got overrun so many times last season. At Liverpool, at Brentford, there were so many times where we got absolutely demolished in midfield, and it was a disgrace. It really, really was. Our team fell apart, and that's purely because of our midfield. It is. Games are won and lost in the midfield. I know that's one of the most cliche sayings, but they are. Right? Games are won and lost in the midfield, and I genuinely believe that Amrabat will add so much to our team. Not only do I look like him, not only do I aspire to be him, clearly, but he will improve us massively. I'll say this now, actually, guys, right? If the Glazers leave, okay? This is my promise to you, all right? If the Glazers leave, I'll buy myself a Manchester United shirt with Amrabat on, and I'll wear it for every single stream. Imagine, well, that's pretty mad, isn't it? But I'll buy myself an Amrabat shirt. Yeah, so ultimately he hasn't gone on the tour, guys. He stayed in Florence. Amrabat looks like he will be leaving at Fiorentina, and it looks like his destination will be Manchester United. I'm absolutely buzzing about that one. Really, really excited. He's going to completely revolutionise our midfield. He's so aggressive. He's so good on the ball. He's so difficult to get past. We did a deep dive into him the other day, guys, and apparently he's in the top 13% of players at stopping people getting past him last season. Absolutely incredible. Him and Casemiro in a midfield too. A midfield three with Mason Mount or Bruno against the Liverpool, or away in the Champions League against a really difficult team. Honestly, he'll be unbelievable for us. So very, very excited about him. Yeah, I did actually, on a side note, I did actually just book to, I'm going to Morocco in May next year. So I did just book to go to Morocco, which is quite exciting. And obviously Amrabat is from Morocco. So You're probably thinking, Kieran, why are you telling us about your holiday? I do not care, but I thought it was relevant. So I will be going to Morocco in May next year, and hopefully Amrabat is a Manchester United player, because that would be really, really cool. But anyway, let's move on to the next bit of the show. Let's talk about McTominay really, really quickly. Where is he? Actually, no, let's not talk about McTominay. We've already spoke about him. Where is it gone? Right. This is the bit I wanted to finish off the Amrabat section of the show, okay? So this is coming out from Amrabat's agent himself. This is a direct quote from Amrabat's agent, and Amrabat's agent says, there are quite a few clubs interested in Amrabat. Now it's a matter of making the right choice. He's still a Fiorentina player. Sofian is open to a transfer, just like Fiorentina. There are 2 or 3 clubs he's open to. So this has literally come out today that only both Fiorentina and Amrabat are open to the move. Yeah, very, very positive, and I do think that we will get this deal over the line, but it's just a case of when, not if, for me. The same as Rasmus Hojlund. I think it's a case of when it will happen, not a case of if it will happen. But do let me know in the comment section, guys, how confident are you that we'll sign Amrabat? Let me know the percentage. I'm going at this point 85% sure I think we'll get Amrabat at this point. But let me know in the comment section, what's your kind of what's your like prediction? He's not going to go to Liverpool at the end of the day, is he? Why would he go to Liverpool? Like, they're in the Europa League. Who wants to move from Fiorentina to Liverpool to play in the Europa League? Like, I definitely wouldn't if I was him. Yeah, I definitely think he will. Honestly, guys, I'm not insecure in any way, so I can take banter. People saying I look like Amrabat. I have absolutely no issue with that whatsoever. So yeah, don't feel bad about it. Anybody in the chat who's saying stop being mean, I honestly do not care. So, you know, I wouldn't make a joke of it myself if I didn't mind. But I do appreciate I do appreciate you guys being kind of looking out for me and all the rest of it. I really do appreciate that. So thank you very much. Anyway, let's move on to the next story, because we can't talk about me looking a bit like Amrabat for the whole show. Although I assume it is relatively entertaining. And as Big T says, I don't mind it. I honestly don't. I really, really don't. You know, to me, Amrabat looks like a tough man. He does. Like, he looks like a tough man, so I'll take it. And I'm really not a tough man, so yeah, I'm happy with that. Anyway, I will read out some of you guys' questions as well. So if you do have any questions, stick them in the live chat, and I will read them out before the end of the show. Well, I'll try and read out as many as possible. Yeah, and I will, jump into the live chat and read out some of you guys' questions. So Sims Amp says Amrabat is a must. Can play with Casemiro and give him a rest when needed. 100%. He can easily slot into Casemiro's position. He can easily play alongside him in those difficult European games. He is so important. I honestly would say this now, and you guys can disagree. I would honestly say that Amrabat at this point is more important than Rasmus Hojlund. I would. People are going to say, Kieran, what the hell are you talking about? You're talking rubbish. All of this Amrabat lookalike talk's gone to your head. I honestly think that Amrabat is more important. I really, really do, because our midfield was so poor last season. It was. We got overrun in so many games, right? Rasmus Hojlund, as excited as I am about him, he's not going to come in and score 30 goals next season. I don't think. You know, he got 9 goals last season. Whereas we could literally have a world-class midfield and then have Jadon Sancho playing as the striker, and we could, do really, really well. Obviously, I'd rather have both Rasmus and Amrabat, but, if it's one or the other at this moment in time, I probably would take Amrabat for 20 million. I genuinely would, because, yeah. Okay, this is a great question. I'll ask this back to the chat. Simon has asked, Kieran, would you prefer to take Amrabat or Caicedo? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Let's just put a bit of context into this, okay? So the options are £100 million for Caicedo or £25 million for Amrabat. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I go with Amrabat any day of the week. I do. Yeah, 100% I go with Amrabat. I do. I know Caicedo is a quality player, but for £100 million, that is an absolute disgrace. There is no way on earth that Caicedo is worth £100 million. No way. I mean, if Caicedo is worth £100 million, then Amrabat's worth 70 or 80 million, I think, based on how good of a player they both are. No way is Caicedo worth 100 million any day of the week. But do let me know in the comment section, guys. Who would you prefer to sign? Thank you to whoever asked that in the comment section. Would you like to get Amrabat or Caicedo? Take in mind that Caicedo is going to cost you 100 million and Amrabat's going to cost you 25. Let's change this question, actually. Let's say this, right? You can either have Caicedo for 100 million or you can have Rasmus Hojlund for 60 and Amrabat for 25. I mean, that's a no-brainer, isn't it? You go for Amrabat and Rasmus Hojlund, don't you? Any day of the week. But yeah, obviously let me know in the comment section, guys. What would you do? What do you think is the best option? Big T has said, which manager will be the first to be sacked this coming season? And do you think there will be as many manager sackings this season as there was last season? I'm not really too sure, to be honest with you guys. I don't want to kind of wage bets on who the first manager to be sacked will be, but I assume it will probably be like someone in the lower bottom half of the Premier League. I don't really know at this point, to be completely honest with you. Maybe we'll come back to that at another point. People asking about the takeover in the chat. There is absolutely nothing to say about the takeover, so I don't even bother pretending that there is, because I do just think that that's completely pointless. So anybody asking about the takeover, there is absolutely nothing to say about it at the moment. I wish there was, I really do, but there isn't. So all I can say is, I don't know. Sorry, guys. I mean, that's the question. That is the comment of the chat. So Fred has said, Kieran, go and walk around Manchester Airport. You'll send the fans into a frenzy. That is good. That's really, really good. I like that. Right, let's have a look at a few more of you guys' chats. Right, who is putting in any good questions? So David says, Caicedo has only played one season in the Prem. He ain't worth 100 million. I think Caicedo is worth 50 million. Declan Rice was a seasoned pro at Arsenal and 105 million was still inflated. I completely agree. And that's why I think this Amrabat deal, I'm sorry to keep going on about the guy, but that's why I just think this deal is so good and we need to get it done, because for 25 million pounds, it's an absolute bargain. It really, really is. So let's just keep our fingers and toes crossed that Manchester United don't mess this one up. Let's just hope that it is as advanced as we're hearing, and let's hope that this deal does get over the line, because if it doesn't, I'll be very, very upset. People asking about McTominay. We have already spoke about him. If you kind of go back a little bit, you will hear the stuff about McTominay. We have already touched on McTominay already. We've got our first super chat of the chat. It's coming from Yoni4416. Yoni says, Anthony is a striker and Rash and Garnacho on the wing. Wow, that is something I've not heard before. What does everybody think about that? Thank you for the super chat, by the way. So Yoni thinks that we should play Anthony as our striker and Rashford and Garnacho on the wide. I'm not too sure about that, to be completely honest with you. Obviously, you're entitled to your opinion. I personally would prefer to see Jadon Sancho as a winger. Yeah, I think. But let me know in the comment section. What do you think? How do you feel about Anthony being a striker? Maybe. I don't think so. It doesn't work for me personally. I think Jadon Sancho would be better there, but yeah, not for me. Jimmy says, will you get bigger than the United stand? I don't know. I don't think so. To be honest with you guys, I don't really I just do stuff for fun and because I enjoy it. I put like 100% into things. Things that I'm passionate about, I'll do, and I'll give my 100% all. To even be put in the same kind of sentence as the United stand, whatever you guys think about it, I know some of you like it, some of you don't, is an honour, regardless of whether I like it or not, or whether you like it. It is an honour. So personally, I mean, obviously you aspire to be as big as other people, but I don't know. For me, the most important thing is having a community that I enjoy speaking to, a nice community where it's not toxic, there's not people like being nasty to each other in the chat, and where everybody just has a good conversation. That's all I wanted to do with this channel. That's all I set out to do. I'm not here to kind of take other people's spots or take other people's thrones or whatever you want to call it. I want to create our own community, and I think there's enough people that, there's enough kind of room for everybody. So that's my take on it. Yeah, and I'm always happy to kind of collab with other people. We will be doing a collab actually with Alice Talks Football. I don't know if you guys have seen her content, but yeah, we'll be doing a collab with her, I think, doing a video. Yeah, at the end of the day, for me, I think that every different channel on YouTube puts out different content. I think they have different styles, different ways of doing things. And I feel like what we offer is different to what other people offer. So some people will like it, some people won't like it, and that's completely fine. Yeah, ours is very much about the football. Ours is very much about community and about everybody having a different opinion, and my opinion not being the most important. That's what I want to try and do. Other people have different communities and different ways of doing things, so that's it at the end of the day. I don't aspire to be the same as somebody else. I aspire to be our own good thing, which I think we already are, guys. So massive shouts to everybody. Obviously, that's a really difficult question to ask. But yeah, I do really appreciate you all guys as well. I'm going to read out a couple more questions as well. We've got about 10 minutes left. If everybody who's watching could please smash a like on the video as well, guys. We've got over 800 people watching, which is absolutely incredible. And please do subscribe to the channel. We go live at 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. UK time every single day. So do get involved in the community. We have a really, really nice show here. We're about 2 subscribers away from 6,400, guys. So let's see if we can hit that by the end of the day. And the thing as well, you've got to remember as well, with this channel, it is just about Manchester United. I only really want to talk about Manchester United because this is what I love. I'm so passionate about Manchester United. So I probably won't start a channel talking about other teams because I do watch lots of other teams, but I don't know. I just want to focus on what I like. I want to do what I enjoy. I don't want this to ever feel like a job. I want this to be a passion thing. And it is a passion thing at the moment. Right, this is a really good question. John says, how many goals are you expecting for Rashford this season? Great question. I'll ask that back to the chat. How many goals do you think Marcus Rashford will get this season? I think he'll get about the same as what he got last season. I reckon he'll get like 30 goals. But yeah, let me know in the comment section, guys. How many goals will Marcus Rashford get this season? I'm going for 30. I think he'll have a really, really good season again. Yeah, that's my take on it. Andrew saying, Kieran, explain the shirt giveaway. So yeah, if anybody is new to the channel or this is your first time watching it, I've promised to give away this signed Paul Scholes shirt when we hit 250,000 subscribers. Somebody in the chat asked me to do it probably when we had 1,000 subscribers, and I said, I don't think we'll ever get there, but of course I'll do it. And yeah, so the deal still is on. If we ever hit 250k subscribers on the channel, guys, I will give away this signed Paul Scholes shirt, which would absolutely kill me, to be completely honest with you, but I did promise to do it. So yeah, this has been recorded, so obviously you have this as evidence if we ever hit that mark. So lots of different people getting in their goal predictions for Marcus Rashford. Most of the people saying 20 to 30. I think that's fair. I think 30 goals for him. I think 30 goals with him is kind of the benchmark now in all competitions. I expect him to get that now. He's just got a massive contract. He's on about 300k a week. I do expect Rashford to be getting, 30 goals a season going forward. Because, he's in his prime now. He should be doing that. He's playing for the biggest team in the world. He's on ridiculous wages. He needs to be getting 30 goals a season now across all competitions. So that's my expectation for him. If he can beat what he did last season, obviously that would be incredible. But, maybe that won't happen. Yeah, Josh is asking about Suzuki. Yeah, we did speak about Suzuki a little bit earlier on. Jimmy says, will the Glazers be gone by January? Great question. I will ask that back to the chat. Do you think the Glazers will be gone by January? Yeah, I think the Glazers will be gone by January. I do. I think they'll be gone by January. That's my prediction. I don't think they'll be gone in the next kind of month or so, but I do think the Glazers will leave the club eventually. Again, I don't want to talk about the takeover because there's nothing to talk about. So I don't want to sit here and pretend that there's stuff to talk about because there isn't. So yeah, in relation to the takeover, there is nothing to say. But I do think the Glazers will sell the club eventually. I don't know when that will be. Canute says, are there any good players from Bristol that United can buy? Not really, to be completely honest with you. In Bristol, we have Bristol Rovers, who are in the League Two. They're not very good at all. And the only reason you guys will know anything about Bristol Rovers, right, is they have Joey Barton is the Bristol Rovers manager, okay? Bristol City, again, they don't really have any players that you guys will know. Tammy Abraham was at Bristol City for a bit. But other than that, there hasn't been that many players who've come through Bristol City Academy. The closest team to where I live is Bristol Rovers. But from a young age, I've just been obsessed with Manchester United through my mum's side of the family. I've never really got into my local team just because there hasn't been anybody in my family who supports them because my family aren't from Bristol. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a bit of a weird one. Yeah, so I've never really followed either of those teams because there was never anybody who was like, oh, I'm going to take you to see Bristol Rovers. It would always be, let's go and see Manchester United. So that yeah. Although I don't live in Manchester, Manchester United has always been like my local team, even though I don't live in Manchester. I know that sounds a bit confusing, but yeah, I don't really follow Bristol Rovers or Bristol City that much. But if I was to say which one would you pick, I'd say Bristol Rovers just because I live closer to their stadium. But yeah, I hope that answers the question. It's probably not the very good answer. But as I said, the only person you'll know from Bristol Rovers is Joey Barton is the manager. If you guys don't know Joey Barton, then go and have a look at him on YouTube. He was an absolute brute of a player. I think he got suspended so many times for red cards and stuff. Yeah. Irvin says, would you go for a centre-back before September or Jan if you were the manager? To be honest with you, a centre-back isn't a priority position for me. It really, really isn't. If Harry Maguire goes, then maybe we go and look at a centre-back. But at this point, I don't think we need a centre-back personally. As I've said to you guys on multiple videos before, I genuinely prefer having Johnny Evans as the 5th choice centre-back than Harry Maguire. I would let Harry Maguire go. I'd reinvest that money somewhere else, maybe in a second striker. That's what I would do. I personally wouldn't bother with another centre-back at this point. But do let me know in the comment section, guys. What is more important to you? Would you prefer to have a second striker or a new centre-back? Let me know. Let me know your reasons. For me, I'm pretty happy with the centre-back positions at the moment. I like Lindelof. I like, obviously, Varane. I like Martinez. I like Luke Shaw as a centre-back. And I have no issue with Johnny Evans being the 5th choice centre-back. So for me, I would go and get a second striker any day of the week because we have none. Yeah, quite a few people in the chat seem to know Joey Barton. Honestly, he's an absolute thug of a player. He really, really is. But he's the manager for Bristol Rovers. Yeah. But as I said, I don't really follow Bristol Rovers or Bristol City. I literally just follow Manchester United. That's my team. But yeah. Let me know in the comments section, actually, guys. What's your local team? If you don't live in Manchester, let me know in the comments section who your local team is. I'd love to see where you guys are all coming from and all the rest of it. So let me know what your local team is. I'd be really interested to see. We've got 10 minutes left of the show, guys, as well. If you haven't already, please do make sure to smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel. We're less than 20 subscribers away from 6,500. So let's see if we can hit that by the end. I will read out a couple more of your questions before we wrap up the video in about 10 minutes time. So do get your questions in. Lee says, first time I've listened and enjoying your content. Massive shouts. Really, really do appreciate all of you guys. Massive shouts to everybody who's been here from day one. And massive shouts to all the new people who are only here today. I really do appreciate all of you guys. So big ups to everybody. Simon says, I'd go for a second striker all day. We're short on strikers, point in case Sancho training to be a striker. Yep, 100%. Second striker for me. Some people in the chat saying Evan Ferguson. Yeah, I would just go and get another striker because Rasmus Hojlund, as much as I think he's going to go on to do well, I think it is going to be difficult. I do. I think it's going to be difficult for him. You know what Sky Sports journalists are like. You remember what they did to Jadon Sancho, don't you guys? They put up the picture of James Bond and they put 007, 0 goals, 0 assists and 7 appearances. Like, people don't care whether someone's 20 years of age and is still a player who needs to develop. They'll be able to get him from day one, I promise you. Let's have a look. Fred says, now this is a good question. Fred says, do you think David De Gea deserves a testimonial? I think he does, 100%. I think David De Gea definitely deserves a testimonial, like a charity match type thing. But let me know what you think in the comment section. I would definitely say he does. So we've got some news coming in the last couple of minutes, guys, about Hannibal Mejbri, somebody who I really, really like, somebody who I think could, be a part of the Manchester United squad in the future. And apparently Luton Town and Leicester are looking to sign Hannibal Mejbri on loan this season. How does everybody feel about that? I think if we can get a Premier League loan move for Hannibal, I would let him go 100%. He's not going to get any game time. We saw how good Ahmad was when he went to Sunderland last season. I would let Hannibal go. If we can send him off to Luton, that would be a great bit of business. So let's hope that this deal happens. As I just said, Luton and Leicester have reportedly inquired about signing Hannibal Mejbri on loan. I'm just seeing if there's any other news coming in to bring to you really, really quickly before we wrap up the video. We've kind of got through everything that I had planned for the show, so I don't want to keep you guys listening if there isn't really anything specifically to talk about because I just don't really see the point. Okay, let's answer this question then before we wrap up the video. Irvin says, let's say we sign all the players this summer who we are linked to. What's next? Do you mean, are we going to challenge for the league? I think if we get Rasmus Hojlund, Amrabat, Onana and Mason Mount, I think we should be finishing second or third, okay? I don't think we'll win the Premier League with those 4 signings personally. I think if we had a Harry Kane, I think if we had a Victor Osimhen, if we had a Gonzalo Ramos as well as a Rasmus Hojlund, I think we'd be in for a shout, but I still would say that, we might not we might not win it. Okay, Manchester City are going to improve. This season is going to be so difficult, guys. I think it's going to be way more harder than last season. Liverpool will be better, Chelsea will, Tottenham will. Yeah, it's going to be a difficult season, but I am confident that Manchester United are going to do well. I have 100% faith in Erik ten Hag. I absolutely love the guy, and I do think the players we're signing so far have been really good. So really excited about the season to get started. I don't really want to give a season prediction at this point because we don't know who we're going to sign. We don't know who's going to come in. We don't know who's going to leave. So I think it's a little bit premature for us to be saying we should be winning the Premier League or all of the rest of it. But of course, I will give that prediction. I would say, let me ask you this actually quickly, guys. When do you want me to give my season prediction? Do you want me to do it a day before the season starts? Should we do that? Yeah, I think that would be the best time to do it. So we'll do a video the day before Manchester United's first game of the season, and I'll do my season prediction. And I've also promised that on that video, I'll do a competition where I get people to get involved in the comment section, and whoever's prediction is the closest to what happens will win. So if you'll have to say how many points we'll get, who the top goal scorer will be, and what trophies will win. And whoever gets the closest will win some sort of prize. So yeah, we'll do that the day before Manchester United's first game, which is in about 2.5 weeks. Right, this feels like a great place to wrap up the video. We had over 900 people watching today, which is absolutely incredible. Massive shouts to everybody who watches every single stream. Massive shouts to all the new people who have only just joined us for the first time. Please do make sure to smash a like on the video on your way out. Please do subscribe to the channel. I will be back at 8 a.m. UK time tomorrow for our morning show. And then again, I'm back at 6 p.m. as always. So 8 a.m., 6 p.m. every single day. And if any breaking news happens throughout the day, of course, I do go live. So make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification bell. Have a lovely evening or day wherever you are in the world. And I will catch you guys later. Lots of love. Peace out.